You know that the poem called the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, which is not really Omar but Fitzgerald. It's an extremely free translation, but it carries the theme that we call Carpe Diem, seize the day. Drink, eat, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. And so, especially drink. Get roaring drunk, because the future has nothing in it for you. Actually, this poem is really mistranslated. You should read the translation by Winfield, which is quite a different matter. Omar Khayyam was a Sufi, that is to say, an Islamic mystic. And the Sufis had to keep quiet about their doctrine. The central doctrine of Sufism is An al-Haq, and that means I am He, the realization I am God. And so they say, just as there is no deity but He, so there is no heity but He. Well, many Sufis were tortured and slain because of the proclamation of the An al-Haq. So they used hidden language to propagate their ideas. And in Sufi symbology, wine is the divinity. And to be drunk is to be enlightened, is to transcend oneself. And of course, this imagery is likewise in Christianity. That's one of the meanings of Holy Communion. Blood of Christ inebriate me, is one of the sayings in the, I think, the divine praises. And so the whole meaning of the Rubaiyat is get drunk today, because there is no tomorrow. Why is there no tomorrow? It is not because life is transient, not because we fall apart. We keep on falling apart. See, once you've fallen apart, you fall apart again. Everything is falling apart. It always has been. See, I mean, life is a process of everything falling apart. That makes multiplicity, many things. But the reason to get drunk today, because tomorrow we die, is that there is no such thing as tomorrow. There is only now. And if you don't do it now, you'll never do it. Because now is the only time it can be done in. So anybody who makes preparations for spiritual development and says, well, this is a tough and difficult road, and after many lives I shall finally attain. You know what you're doing? You're playing games. You're postponing it. Because you don't really want to wake up. It's better to stay in the adventure, in the dream, in playing the role that you aren't you know who. Now you see how in this way I've mentioned, in talking about repentance, how you can play with guilt. And I raised the question, what is the awful thing you've really done? And I showed you how the confessor, if he's a really smart confessor, will reject all your ordinary sins, all the murders and adulteries and all those things, and say, just small cheese, just a piddling venial sins. But there is something awful, really awful. Everybody's done. What do you suppose it would be? Was it something I did in childhood and have forgotten? No. Something you're doing now, but have forgotten. Now, nobody can admit this sin, Because if you admit having done it, you're immediately classified as insane. It's to say, I see what happened. I am the Supreme Self. Playing it isn't. And the reason for having a guilt feeling here is to keep the game going. There is this prohibition. You mustn't step beyond this mark. Don't do that. That's the deepest taboo we have.